Hey guys, what is up? It's your boy Sean back with another episode of the Safe Room. It's just me, solo episode, so you know what it is. Today I don't really have any topics in mind. I really have more of like just something of a thought in my head, really, in terms of just how I feel about a certain thing. And hopefully this takes about less than 30 minutes. I don't want to go too long for this, but it is what it is. And really, the main topic I want to talk about for myself is why I am not ready for a relationship. Now, what I mean by that basically, it's not in the sense that, I'm not showing interest, but it's just that at the moment, based on like what I'm doing, all the stuff that I have going on, I'm not ready for like, to get intertwined with another significant other or anything like that. I'm gonna share a story of mine, just how that kind of went for me. Because believe it or not, I tried to do something like that, like at a younger age when I had no clue what I was doing. I think I was just kind of trying to be funny, and it just failed like miserably. But I just want to talk about that and just like why I'm not ready for one. There's many factors, but again, hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's kind of more of a story time, trying something different, trying something new. Maybe if you want to hear stuff like this, like more in the future, like I'm totally down for it. If you guys want to make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, so you guys are checking all the mini clips I'm doing. I might start going to Instagram though. I might go to Instagram to change it up, make things different. It may make things easier as well. But also make sure you guys are checking out the Safe Room on Apple Music. I said Apple Music. Apple Podcasts. Sorry, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. You guys can check it out. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram on the Safe Room Podcast. I'm making posts almost every single day, trying to get that consistency there. It is what it is. But yeah, let's get into it. So, the reason why I say I'm not ready for a relationship. Now, I know this is depending who you are, maybe a very personal topic, but I'm willing to share. So, at a very young age, I was very like, how can I describe it? I wasn't like I wasn't like, a normal child, like, just kind of like, okay, if something caught my eye, I get excited. No, it's just, I had a lot of things with me. I had a lot of baggage. I was very like fidgety all over the place and everything. So, I used to go to a school called Briar Hill, and long story short, like I was there for specific reasons. So I met this one girl, um, and when I did, all I could think about was like, oh my god, like she's so cute and everything, and like this was the time where people were going around saying like, oh, don't get cooties or such, and just like I was even trying to be bothered by that. I'm like, that's just ridiculous. So then I told myself, okay, like she's really cute. Like I think I like her, like just how she is, like she's beautiful, and everything. And like I think I like her. So because of that, like I try to take my shot with her. And it wasn't even like something that was be like serious. It was like something that was just more that happened in the moment. Nothing that was supposed to like be out of a story. It was just kind of like for fun. And we just went with it. We both just played along. It was funny, it was hilarious, but like we actually became like good friends at the time and everything. I kid you not. And there was just long story short, the whole school was kind of trolling. Like all the like little kids and the students were like, "Oh, like you guys sound ridiculous. You guys look ridiculous and everything." So I didn't bother about it again. But I think it was when like people try to tell me like like yo you like her. It's not like best friends or anything. It's like you like her. So I was like, oh snap, like really? It's like that. Mind you, like I was probably like in what grade two? Like I was like seven. Like I was seven, like crushing on another girl like that, and it was like that's serious. I was like, what the heck, bro? Like where are my priorities? Like where are my things at? Like for real. So long story short, it kind of played out for the entire year, and like people we're not. There was like some people that were not even buying it. They're like, you don't like her, and she doesn't like you. You guys are not a thing, and everything. We're like, yeah, like yes we are. Like no, you're not. Like yes we are. It was like real kiddish and everything. And one moment that I do remember, because like I'm gonna be honest, like I don't have a lot of great memories at Briar Hill. Again, I had a anger management problem when I was young, so again, like all I think about was the times that, I was like just unleashing this ball of fury. But one moment that I will remember was the time that someone dared me and the girl. I'm not gonna say her name. Someone dared us to kiss, and not just kiss, but kiss in front of the entire school. And like that was hurting my pride because again, like look at me back now, like I was like, oh my god, like what was I thinking? But of course, younger Sean, younger president was not thinking. So I said, deal, bet, whatever what it was, and we actually did it. It was like during recess and everything, and well, it actually happened. And from there, I thought we had something good until, well, long story short, we kind of just parted ways. Not in like a very sad thing, like don't worry about it, but just like, we moved on. Because I think we both realized that, it was just dumb and ridiculous. It was just kind of like, again, for jokes, for giggles. So we kind of moved on and everything. And I will say, even though that was me at a young experience, me looking back, it made me realize even better, like why I'm just not ready for a relationship. See, I have a lot of friends who are girls, yes, and whether it's I know them from another person or I met them for the first time and we connect, like it doesn't matter. That's cool. But the issue is that I don't try to like get too attached. Maybe there'll be that one person that's like, oh, she's pretty beautiful and everything, but I don't try to get like emotionally attached because in terms of me, what I define a good relationship. So for me, a good relationship is where for both sides, there's commitment, there's communication, but it's also that if you see that I'm trying to build something like for myself, that hopefully you can support me with that. And in return, I can do the same for you. I feel like that's kind of been my definition. I'm not trying to say that this is an objective standard, like no, but like I just everyone has their own ways of like how they view a good relationship, and that's okay. For me, I feel it's just finding that significant other that kind of respects what you do and tries to like push you to that highest potential. And I hope to do the same as well, It's kind of been like my MO just overall. Like I want people to succeed. I've always been a person that likes to have people do their things, their initiatives, whatever it is, and just build their brand so it could be successful. That's just kind of been my prerogative. So I kind of apply that into terms of like what a good relationship is. So yeah, so don't get me wrong. There have been times I've felt like in my head. I haven't said this like out loud, maybe once or twice, but I think I've tried to keep my emotions intact, especially if you're males. Like mostly the assumption is that like males don't really show feelings or don't show any signs of emotions. They try to express themselves in different manners, and sure that's cool, but I mean we can't just generalize every single male because that's not the case. Like believe me, I'm not the type of person to hold my emotions too much or all the time. If there's times I want to express myself, like I'll do it, and it's cool. But there have been times I may have felt for another person, and well, I will say like everyone has different ways of like handling it, like very different ways. Like for me, it was sports. Like I don't know what it was, but like I tried to like make conversation of like sports, anything that had to do with like like basketball, soccer, even like like WE. Like I don't know. Like I had a very different way of like coping with things, and I didn't know if it was like, oh, I was doing this right when I was like telling myself, nah, like this isn't the way. Like what's going on? Like this is not the direction, the prerogative, how I should be moving. So I didn't know what was wrong with me. I'm like, am I doing this right? Like, am I actually doing this right? So the more I grew up and I realized that, oh wow, like younger me was actually stupid. Like this was a time of like probably what middle school. So like again, this was like in my full out. I want to say I'm just trying to do like my schoolwork. You could say like I was like a nerd back then. Let's be honest. I wasn't trying to do anything cool or crazy. I wasn't trying to hang with people that were a bad influence to me. I was really hanging with, some of the friends I knew before, but that was it. In the classroom, I wasn't trying to like play around. I'm like, look, let's get the work done. Let's get this. I was that type of person. Let's be honest. If you saw me back then, you would not walk up to me. Straight up. You wouldn't walk up to me. You would be looking in the corner like, yo, who is that guy? He's like, I don't know. Just some random dude. Like that's what I was back in middle school. Like for real. So when I had these types of approaches where I started to talk like to another girl like this, and I was just like, wow, looking back, like I actually sounded stupid as hell. I really did. So I know I've explained that really one of the main reasons why I define myself like in a good relationship is based on, if someone has an objective, like where I'm doing something and they want me to succeed and vice versa. That's one of it. So let me actually get to the premises of what I don't want to be in a good relationship or I'm not really ready for one. And one of the main reasons is that it's really a lot of attention. And again, we as humans, like let's be honest, like we would hold on to one thing for like 10 seconds and once the next thing comes by, we're like switching. It's like we're always like changing on things on the go and it's a lot. So especially for my schedule right now, for me to just kind of like, okay, I have to push most of it aside for a relationship right now. It's not that I can't be that person, but at the same time, again, like I think it just ties into what I define myself in relationships. Like I can do that, but I'm hoping that you can still support me in what I'm doing because if you are just like I need your time and your time alone, but at the same point if I ask for the same treatment and you're just kind of like, you'll be fine, or like you're not showing that same equal amount of like, affection, it's just like, we can't be doing this. Like, you can't be like, calling me on the phone. Let's say we be talking for an hour, this and that. And then when I just ask you for something, you're barely giving like 10%. Like, it can't go those ways. So sometimes why I'm not really ready for a relationship is that maybe it's attention and maybe just how much attention are you giving again, when I talked to these girls like growing up, like I didn't try to be someone that's like, okay, I'm trying to like woo her like with gifts, materialistic things, or just charm. I just wanted to like, get to know the person as a friend and just like as another individual, just kind of have a normal conversation, this and that. And I mean, sure, you could say, well, Sean, no one at like such a young age is gonna be thinking like that. Believe me, like the middle school I went to, it was like there was like so much drama that was going on that it was actually like it was like something out of a movie, like legit something out of a movie. So I feel like in those situations I can't really say that I was doing something wrong at the time. Just kind of get to know a girl as a friend because usually guys hang with guys, girls hang with girls. You don't really see the mix and stuff. Only time you see stuff like that is literally in TV shows. And like what happens in TV shows, eventually the guy and the girl like each other as friends. And usually by the end of the series, they're a boyfriend and girlfriend. They're in a relationship. That's how it works. So really, like I wasn't trying to like get locked in immediately. I just actually just wanted to talk like, hey, like let's just hang out because don't get me wrong, like I still hang out with the guys, like they're cool and everything. But it's like how far can you do that until like, you say, you know what? I just want to talk to somebody different. I just want to talk to somebody different who has different like, views on things. That's just how it is. Like, don't get me wrong, like it even transitions to like my high school and everything. Like, there be times we be talking about sports or just like, anything related to like in terms of like even music. That was another thing too, like music, sports, and it just got tiresome because sometimes I would go in there. We would play like president in the back of the library. We would talk about everything happening NBA, like NFL, NHL, MLB. And it's just like there are times like I would just be quiet. I would just say nothing. They're like, "Yo, Sean, you good?" It's like, "Yeah, bro." I'm like, "Can we talk about something different? Like, let's talk about like what's happening in the world. Like, anything. And there'll be times where it's like, you may hear like a one or two, takes and everything, but the conversation probably doesn't go as long as 5 minutes. And like right back to where it started, like, sports and everything. So I was trying to like find out within somebody else, hopefully from the opposite gender, just like as that. Obviously I have my sister, but like I feel like we can talk about anything. It doesn't matter. I felt like I couldn't do that with my guys, so I think another reason why it was just so difficult because again, like I just didn't know how I wanted to express these other feelings or just these other takes without having to talk about the same shit. Okay, so yeah, one of the main reasons attention. I think another thing why I'm not really ready for a relationship, and to most people, like this is just kind of a simplistic one, but I think it's a very accurate one. I'm just not ready for one. I'm just not ready for one, and I think that just kind of comes off the fact that I just know myself, and like when I feel that like within my heart that it's kind of like okay, you know what, like maybe I want to like settle down with someone, then cool. Right now, like I'm not even trying to like pick out anyone from the field. It's just kind of like yo, like even if someone comes up to me like yo, I think you're, yo, let's chill and everything. We can talk. It's like cool, but like I'm kidding you. When like I'm talking with you, I may not be even sensing if you're saying like, you know what, like I really like this person and stuff. Like no, I'll just be taking it as a normal conversation, like nothing else. So like to me, it just feels like if I'm not like trying to show interest, it's just like it's not gonna work for sure. And again, there've been times like that. Hell, there've been times it's kind of happened to me, like in the opposite. Maybe I like someone, but clearly it's like, yo, like you're a cool person, but to be very honest, like I only see you as like as a friend or just like a normal person. I don't see you as nothing else, nothing bigger than that. Like, no offense, I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings or trying to be offensive, but this is how it is. And I get it. Because you know what? Like, there'd be times for me as well, like, I feel that way. And, like, that's okay. And obviously, if you do like that person that much, it's going to sting even harder. But, like, to me, like, it didn't really bother me. It didn't. Um, Another reason, and I feel like this is where, like, this explanations, I wouldn't say it's kind of sad or corny, but I feel like if I don't say it, then like I'm not being true to myself. I truly think that a lot of people just don't see me as their type. And when I say that, I don't mean in terms of just like only physical features. I think just more of like the mentality. Again, I'm a very like driven person that believes that, I can't sit down for like 2 seconds without doing something. Like I have to be on the go every single time. That's just how I've been. That's kind of how I've been just driven by. Like I'm that type of person. It's like even when you're not doing anything, I want to see someone do like good for themselves. That's just been me. So I feel like from those characteristics, like I'm just not the type of person someone wants to be with. Now, again, I don't want to say this as like a generalization or anything, but you know, I've met a lot of girls, a lot of women, and I wouldn't say that they've shared the same things as me. Not to say that they don't have, or if not, a bigger drive than me. But like, I mean, if anyone knows, like, I'm always on the go. Like, listen, like people, like I got the name President. It was from a card game, but honestly, it goes deeper than that. Like, I legit be like doing everything all at once, and like people were telling me like, yo, you need to chill. Like, you need to stop and like take a break. So because of that, like I feel like unless I find someone who's like an absolute like workhorse and like absolutely just exceeding, then yeah, I might not be looking for someone that's kind of like oh everyone likes this person or everyone like yo she's a baddie or this and that. Like, I'm not going for those. I'm not even going for the ones that are like just low key or just under the radar. It's just like again like I think everyone kind of shares like a list of traits or just has like a checklist of like okay this person's that not that okay it's got to be this and it's just kind of like okay whatever. But I feel like no one kind of just takes me and says you know what not even like you have to be like I love this person but like you know what like I respect this person or I actually kind of like what he's doing. I want to like to get to know him better. on a deeper level, something like that. I just feel I'm not that person. And you know what? It's not a shame for me to say, because you know what? I'm not gonna be like behind the bush and be like, oh my gosh, like why can't no one take a chance with me? Listen, if no one wants to take a chance, like it's okay. I'm not butthurt. I'm not gonna be like just holding this grudge inside where like if I see you down the street, I'm giving you the nasty like eye look from afar. Like, oh my god, I remember that moment when you turned me down or you never gave me a chance. Like I'm not. Sometimes I'm hoping that okay, you know what? She didn't fall for me, but I hope you're doing something for yourself. Because I will admit, if you were the type of person that's like, you weren't trying to give me a chance and it was just kind of like, yo, it's never gonna happen, or you're taking it as a joke. Like, I hope in the future you're doing something good for yourself. Because if you're not, then like I might have to be that petty person. Like, yeah, where's your ass now? You're talking all that trash, and now look at you. So it is what it is. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too serious, but yeah. So like really, three main reasons: attention, not really ready for it. I may not be someone's type, and who knows? Maybe there is someone who's probably listening who could probably relate to me. If not, again, we all share like different takes and ideologies, but I think what the real message I wanted to get from this, why, if you're just not one that's like, I'm not ready for a relationship, it's not to say that, you don't mess with these type of people. Or like, I don't mess with guys, or I don't mess with girls, or this and that, or like, I'm too good for them. No, like, I think what's really important is about your happiness. Like, are you happy from within? Like, are you like feeling good about yourself without, letting others cloud your judgment or like stop your grind? Because like there's one time where like you could not be in a relationship or you don't try to look for one, and you could still be miserable, and like that's not good. Like that's not good. That's not the type of vibe or energy you want to carry off. But if it's like, look, I'm just not ready for one, but I know my worth. I know how I feel, how I want to express myself, and that's just kind of how I want to move forward with. Then honestly, you've won. You've won. Like what's it? Like I don't even want to be that person. There be people that be going to relationships and then like a couple months later they be like talking like all this like garbage about like, oh my god, he or she wasn't the one. Like I knew this wasn't gonna work out. Oh my god, like I could already smell trouble from the start. So why did you hop in? A lot of people kind of hop in relationships because they don't feel happy. They don't feel happy, but like, are you actually in love? Like, do you actually like this person? You want to take it to another level, or are you just going like, I'm just kind of like trying to cover this space of like happiness that is not there? Like, you can't be doing that because like, what's it? Like, you could be doing so many other things for yourself. Like, literally take this whole panoramic that's been going on right now. Like you could have done something that say, you know what, I'm gonna do me, whether it's like for my mental health, or if you didn't want to do nothing big. If you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna see if I could just like do like self-care days, just kind of like to cleanse myself. Do it. Like for me, like what's it? For the longest time, I felt like the reason why I was like so hooked up on like women and like in the sense of like, oh, I like this person but I don't know how I want to express myself, this and that. I'm gonna be honest, I was that type of person where like I would think about that person, not like in a way where it's like constantly, but it's just kind of like, wow, like I wonder what she's doing. I wonder if she's doing something good, because again I've been that person that's like I want people to succeed, but I knew I shouldn't be really focused on that. Like if I'm putting all my energy on that, what happens to me? And what I realized at a very late stage, but luckily now I'm starting to like recover. When the times I had nothing to do, that's when I actually started to think about those types of girls, like those types of women, like, in the sense of like, oh, she's cool. That's when I had nothing to do. But when I say, you know what, like, let me do something, like, let me exercise, or like, let me like do something else. Like, let me try to occupy my time. When I did that, all the thoughts went away. It's because like I didn't feel happy at the time. So because of that, it's like, oh wow, like I didn't even realize this from the start. So honestly, like whatever you guys feel, just try to make yourself happy. But if you're so hooked up about like what one person thinks about you and how you feel, then you're just chasing something that has no prize at the end or like any reward. And again, this is not to say that this situation applies like to everyone all the time, but like you can't just, dismiss the thought and say it's never going to happen, because it will. And like that's just how life works. So, yeah, for me, I'm just kind of doing my own thing. Like I feel good and everything. And if there's that one person who wants to like, build something with me or just kind of like go on the ride, like that's cool. But for now, I'm not stressing. I'm not trying to look. I'm not really trying to take anyone in my interest, trying to make something big. No, it's cool. Like the time will come. The time will come. And if not, it's okay. I know I have my happiness for myself. And yeah, but that was a little story about why, I'm just not ready for a relationship. I'm not. Anyway, guys, I think that's it. Again, I'm gonna try episodes where like I'm gonna keep it short, like less than 30 minutes, because I know y'all don't want to hear me talk for like 40 minutes on like a separate episode just by myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed. As you guys are listening to this, I would have probably, maybe if not, maybe later on today, have announced the winner for the best Caribbean drink ever bracket. Um, I will say, like, whoever wins, who knows? It really depends. But I hope you guys enjoyed everything I did for that, honestly. And don't forget, top 10 brackets will be moving on to the final challenge, which I already have set up. I can't wait to drop that. I'm very curious if anyone's going to get it. I feel like this is really going to test you guys if you've been paying attention to everything I've been doing from the start. Like, legit. Like, I really hope you guys get it. But it is what it is. That's going to do it in terms of another episode for the Safe Room. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoy your day and everything. We'll be back with another episode. The grind don't stop. We're going to keep going until we reach the top. You know what it is. But yes, thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys next time.